Hi guys, welcome back to Women, Wine and Wisdom.
You're Naomi.
I'm Naomi.
I'm
Do you know what? I actually thought I might have done it wrong, which is why I was just like, wait, did I say it right? Did I say it backwards? No. Welcome back to Women, Wine and Wisdom. I'm Naomi.
I'm Jimmy.
And today we are going to be talking about friendships.
Yes, because why not?
Why not? Exactly.
So Nay's going to introduce our
wine.
I was like, wait, what's going on?
I was getting a bit too ahead of myself.
Yeah, so Nay's going to introduce our wine to us.
And this was actually gifted to us by one of our previous guests that came on. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. So let's pour. Do you know what was so funny? Seeing
Do you know
how...
I haven't had Pink Moscow since uni?
Have you not?
No.
Oh my gosh, girl. You have been missing.
You think so? It's so funny because I feel like, you know, when you drink something so much at uni, it can traumatize you.
It can really traumatize you.
So it's going to be quite... I know it's a nice wine as well because I've had it before, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to have it for the first time in more than 10 years.
Well, let's cheers. You know, we've got to start our episode right.
Cheers, my beautiful.
Cheers. A lot of strawberries and cream in there. I'm sure most people have had this wine before.
Oh,
it's
most
quite
definitely.
a common, popular wine that a lot of people drink.
It's nice as well.
It's
sweet.
nice.
You've got a sweet tooth as well. It's kind of nice.
Exactly. If you've got a sweet tooth, I know most of you that have watched our episodes have probably not seen us drink rosé.
Ever.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
It's an episode first.
Ooh.
Oh my God. We're switching up our palettes, guys.
Yeah, we really are. Because remember, I didn't even drink white in the
You
beginning.
didn't even
of
drink
this.
white at the beginning. So who knows? Maybe next week we might have some cognac.
Ooh.
But yes, we're going to be talking about friendships on this episode, guys. So, Jimmy.
Yes.
What is a good friend to you?
Oh, that is a very tough question.
Sorry, I just threw you in there.
You really did. And I feel like it's changed with time. So like, what is a good friend? I think for me, somebody that I can rely on. That person needs to be extremely reliable. Because as I've gotten older, I have less friends.
Yeah.
And my group is smaller. So the people that are my friends, to me, are like family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to be able to rely on you. I need to be able to come to you for advice.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we're skeptical about who we go to get certain opinions.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to come to you for certain pieces of advice.
Yeah.
At any point. Good character. Do you know what I mean? Bad character corrupts good company. Is that the way? Is that the right saying? Is that the way?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Does that sound? Yeah. So like again, you need to have good character. I think you need to think highly of yourself, and I need to think highly of you, so I can respect you enough to come to you for advice and things like that.
Do you know what's making me laugh
Why?
in the back of my mind? I remember in one of our previous episodes where you were like, you hate it when people say birds of a feather flock together.
I really do, but
But
it's
this
so
is
true.
a good alternative to
I really don't like that saying but it is actually so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. So like, you know, and I don't like the term high value either, but you want to make sure that you have high value friends because at the end of it, like you always say, they pour into you and you pour into them. So if they're pouring things of high value into you, you're only going to become better.
100%.
I mean, those are a few things. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think you touched on the ones that I would probably say as well. Definitely the pour into you one, because I'm big on that. I think you need to be able to, you want to be able to feel that you're, you know, learning and developing and growing with your friends.
Yeah.
And you're not just staying stagnant. And vice versa, also that you're pouring into them as well. You know, it shouldn't just be a one-sided thing. Yeah. And I think so many times it is very one-sided. And then, for example, I've seen it with friendships where, I don't know, say, for example, you're always babysitting their children. And then all of a sudden you can no longer babysit their child.
Yeah.
You don't see them calling you anymore.
Yeah. But then you're not a friend. You're a person of service.
Ooh.
You're not actually a friend. And this is the thing. It's like we all say, you know, oh yeah, this person's my friend. No. This person, like for example, if we just go out together on nights out and we go out and we get drunk and we're partying, we're not actually friends.
No.
You know what I mean? We are acquaintances that enjoy partying together.
Yeah. We have a common interest.
Thank you. And people need to be able to differentiate that.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh yeah, this person's my friend, but would you call them on a bad day?
No.
If you was having a mental breakdown, would you call them?
No.
Yeah. If you and your partner were going through a serious situation, would you call them?
No.
If the bailiff was knocking at your door, would you call them?
No. But it's the truth. And I think, like, I see a lot of this at work. I think a lot of people mistaken work colleagues for friends.
Okay.
And so I have made friendships out of work. So yeah. So I'm not saying it's a blanket rule for all, but there are times where people come into work. Let me just call her Sally. Sally will come into work and she will be like talking about everything that's going on between her and her partner at home.
Yeah, no.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I think
and it's unfortunate, but sometimes people just do not care. Some people bring work, personal life to work too often, and I think you need to be able to differentiate between who's your work colleague, so somebody you can go on lunch with, maybe to get like a pret a manger or like an itsu, and somebody who actually cares to hear you out, offer advice, and offer a level of support to you. Because like I say, I do have friends at work, but there's some people who take it too far and they mistaken the work friend relationship for actual friendship.
One thing I want us to do, and I think what you've done is amazing, is let's categorize this. Let's do work, let's do opposite sex friendships, and then same sex friendships. I think we can kind of do that and work with that. It'll be good. So with the work colleagues one, I always say that some of the time your work colleagues are not really your friends. Yeah. Because it depends though. So don't get me wrong, I have some amazing friends from workplaces.
Yep, I totally agree.
But not everybody's my friend.
No.
And to be honest, it's not even of my personality anyway. No, so I will talk to you if I need to talk to you, and I will talk to you consistently if it's work related, right? And for example, we spoke about our managers. Like, me and my manager have a very, very good relationship. Yeah. And she's somebody I would probably keep in my life for a very long period of time. Does that make sense? Yeah. Whereas my old manager, the one when I was working in the school, me and him don't talk at all. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So it just depends in different workspaces and how comfortable you feel with that person in a particular environment. But I do feel that there are sometimes you need to talk about just work. Yeah. And there are sometimes you need to talk about your personal life, just because your personal life does affect work. Do you see what I mean? And your professional life does affect your personal life.
So do you not... Go on, finish your point.
Yeah, so there are some times that you will... Like, me and my manager will be having a conversation and we both have side hustles. We'll talk about that. We both have relationships. We'll talk about that. Do you see what I mean? Because at the end of it, and this might be my own personal view, but if you're not personable, there's no way we can even be friends. And I probably might not even necessarily respect you that much, because you're not a robot. So if you're just coming in every day and it's like bam, 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 work, I'll be looking at you like, interesting, because I know your life ain't like that, really. Okay. I know on Instagram you're enjoying yourself.
Well, let's speak. Ooh.
Yes.
I was going to delve, but maybe it's a bit too much for this one episode. Okay. Because that's another thing. Do you feel like you should add your friends on social media?
Friends or work colleagues?
Work colleagues, sorry, excuse me.
It depends. So for example, like from one of my previous companies, I have 3 of the girls on Instagram. Absolutely love them. We're in a WhatsApp group chat. We talk randomly sometimes. And that's been absolutely fine. I've never had an issue with it. Whereas I have seen other people add their work colleagues on Instagram and it has come back to bite them. What do you think?
So, wait, let me just come back a little bit more. Yeah. Do you feel like you should still add a work colleague versus a work friend? So, like, would you... So, it's one thing to add a work friend. Would you add a work colleague? So...
No. You are a work colleague. We see each other at 9 to 5 and that's it. You're a work colleague. Work friend and work colleague... Like, obviously, that line can kind of mesh.
It can blur.
Yeah. However... If me and you we have a genuine connection, I'm one of those people that I genuinely, or I build genuine connections with people, and I don't have that all the time. So when I am friends with you, we can be friends on Instagram. Do you see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like you eventually know my personality, because I will show you. Do you see what I mean? Okay. But for a work colleague, we have nothing. What are we even going to talk about? Because we have nothing in common outside of work. Yeah. We work for the same company. That's it. But when you have things in common with people and you can have serious conversations and people put you onto things, then I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you just have to be careful.
No, you do.
Because
you
I
really
think
do.
sometimes in a workplace, some people, what is it, wolf in sheep's clothing?
Yes, talk about that.
Some people come to work and their intention is just to be nosy.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they just want to know what's going on, just so they can feed it back to whoever needs to hear it. And one of those people could be your manager. So I think you do need to protect your space and your private life sometimes in the workplace.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself so accessible. And I mean, I see it sometimes where managers are Googling you. They're Googling you to see what comes up. What is your name associated with? What do you do in your spare time? Are you on the Daily Mail? Are you rapping at like in the back corners of Brixton?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Brixton, just saying. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, so you just need to, in my opinion, I feel like there's times where you just need to protect your space and just protect the fact that you do have a personality and a personal life outside of work, and it's not too accessible for everyone to see.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, you know, it is also important on the flip side to find a crutch in the workplace.
Absolutely.
Like you say, we are human. And so it is very important to find somebody in the workplace that you can connect with and bond with and talk about certain things with. You may not have to like delve too much into it, but maybe just things like, I don't know, if you know you're having a difficult time, and you're going through it, you have somebody that you can rely on, someone you can trust.
I think that's so important at work.
Yeah.
It's so important at work. And I feel like it's even more important as an ethnic minority at work.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, yes, work friends can be questionable, but you need to have good judgment of character. I think if you have a good judgment of character,
discernment,
then that might be a bit more beneficial for you as a person.
Yeah, 100%. To be able to, you know, like with me, I do have quite a bubbly, friendly personality, and I know that about myself. But, you know, I will try to sit back and just really assess the room because, you know, just because we're working in the same space doesn't mean that we have to be friends.
It's not by force.
It's not by force. We are all here because we have the ability to get the job done.
Okay.
So I feel like, but then if you can meet somebody who is, you know, like-minded and you have similar values and, you know, you can connect with them, then great. That's an added bonus. But I think going into work, expecting to have friends, I think in my current workplace, there's definitely a few people that I'm like, I really like you as an individual.
Yeah,
like,
me too. Do you know what I mean? So I like to eat lunch by myself.
Yeah. Sometimes I go into my private room.
I don't even meet from my desk. I have lunch by my desk and I go for like a lunchtime walk, right?
Yeah.
But there are still certain people I'm like, let's go for coffee, let's catch up. There's certain people that will have like, that will message me on WhatsApp and we have each other on Instagram. Yeah. And I am more than okay with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And others I'm like, it's okay, I would rather not speak to you preferably for the rest of my life. But at the same time, do you see what I mean?
But there's some people, it's like, you know, there'll be some people that in my life, I probably like would never have crossed paths with them.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like, where would I have seen you? If it wasn't for work, where would I have even bumped into you? Like, we don't even listen to the same kind of music. Like, if the radio's going and they're humming to the song and I'm thinking,
what is that?
Pardon, who sang this? Who? What artist is this? But the fact
that's because you're a bush and you need to see that.
Literally, if it's not Afrobeats, I don't know it. So, but there are times where we would just maybe like kiki and kaka over like, you know, some of the craziest things. And I'm like, do you know what? If it wasn't for work, it wouldn't have brought me to you. I wouldn't have met you.
And
that's
why we need to be friends.
To you. Yeah. So,
it's not that deep.
Yeah. So, yeah. But then what do you think about personal friendships? And
when we say personal friendships, are we talking about our female friendships or our male friendships?
Oh, okay.
And then there's the whole concept of male friendships while you're in a relationship.
Yes, kiburu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also that one of being friends with your partner's friends or being friends with your female friends, boyfriends or husbands. So let's talk about each individual one.
Oh, do we have enough time to cover all this ground?
I don't think so, but we're going to start anyway.
We're going to start. Okay,
let's talk about friendships with male friends first, and then we'll talk about friendships while you're in a relationship.
Okay.
You have quite a few male friends.
I do.
I have quite a few male friends. Let's talk about that.
Okay. With my male friendship, I met most of them at uni.
Yeah.
And so my dynamic with them is very much what kind of was birthed from uni, university, a common ground, a safe space.
Yeah.
I think sometimes with most male and female relationships, it stems from the guy moving to the girl, and then it doesn't go anywhere, and then they've been friend zoned.
Yeah.
So with me personally, all of my male friendships have stemmed from university. And so that's my safe space. And so anytime I'm in a relationship, I'm just like, FYI, I've got these male friends, but I met them at university, because I know the common understanding or knowledge or thought is that most of them have derived from a guy moving to you. Yeah. And so I kind of just throw that out there from the jump.
Okay.
And then...
Do you think, that when you have partners and you say this to them, they're looking at you left? Because I'm pretty sure that I've definitely had, like, people look at, like, he's your friend. Are you sure?
Yeah, probably, to be fair. And I think, like, when you meet some of my male friends, they are very presentable. They carry themselves well. They're high achievers.
I've met them, so yeah.
And so I think there could be that fear, that kind of like ego thing. I don't know, maybe.
But then again, does that take from your friendship with them, or is that an issue on the man's end?
That's probably an issue on the man's end. Yeah. To be fair, I've never had like a guy that I've dated or dating mention that they've ever felt a type of way about it.
Okay.
They probably do feel a type of way about it or have or whatever.
Yeah.
But not anything that they've brought to me. And so, and with my male friends, and I've mentioned this to them in the past as well, because whenever they've brought girls around, I've made it a point to make their girlfriends feel very comfortable. And when I say comfortable, I don't just mean by saying, hello. No. You can get to know me. Because I feel like it's important. So long as they get to know you and they feel that sense of, it's a safe space here. I'm not moving to your man. I don't want your man. In fact, I'll even highlight why we will not go well together.
Yeah.
Because I think that's very important. And my friends have reciprocated that as well. Like my male friends, they've always made it very, safe for my partners to be like, okay, listen, like, she's our sis.
Yeah.
It's not like that, like, and they make them feel comfortable. I think sometimes if you've got male friends who kind of give off that energy of, oh, you're right, and then they just kind of like keep it to themselves and they don't really integrate, then it makes you feel a bit suspicious, like, what, are you jealous, are you hating? But I think when they create that space of, nah, you're bro now because you're with our sis, then I think they just they kind of relax a little bit and they realize. And I think for me it's always very important. If they've got a girlfriend, I'm always very happy to meet them, to make them feel comfortable, but likewise they're always very happy to meet my partner, to be like, hey.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, and I think one thing you always say as well is that it's actually important for them to know who your friends are, because at the end of 100%. It, if they need advice on you, for example, they could always go to the male friends or the female friends.
Exactly.
And I think that's also really important.
Yeah, because I don't feel like you should ever be forced to have to pick between the two. I don't think that's fair. I think it's a very childish way to look at it, in my opinion. I think you should be able to trust the fact that I have male friends, because I always say, if you could trust the fact that I can go to work and be around male colleagues, why not my male friends?
I think it's slightly different because, and the reason why I say it's slightly different is because you've built up a certain relationship with your male friends that you have with your colleagues at work.
But
and that's the only difference.
Well, I'm with my male colleagues five times a week,
but you wouldn't
for 8 hours a day.
You wouldn't choose to spend time with them outside of work. But
How do you know that?
Because we just said it like 5 minutes ago.
No. Okay, well, maybe in my current workplace because there's no males, but ultimately, in a workplace, that's probably one of the highest places for infidelity.
100%.
So,
100%.
do you know what I mean? If you can expect, and I spend less time with my male friends.
Of course.
I probably message them here and there just because we're in a group chat. But outside of that, I can't, I'll do things, and also respecting boundaries.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yes.
I know I just jumped the gun there, but it's respecting boundaries, because I think sometimes if your male friend is calling you at 12 midnight, why are you calling me for? But also,
Thank you.
on the flip side, pick up your phone in front of your partner. Yeah. Why are you going to turn around and be like, oh, Susan's calling me, let me not answer. Let me put it to the side. I'll call her later. No.
Do you know
what is all of that?
Okay, cool. How do you
answer the phone?
Yeah, straight up. Answer the phone. I'm trying to hear your whole conversation.
Let me hear it. Susan, hello, hi. In fact, let me answer the phone to Susan.
I am so finished. No, I genuinely feel like you should not be able to answer your phone. Like, I will answer my phone at any point, at any time.
Yeah, there's nothing to hide.
But at the same time, I'm like, when I'm speaking, I'm like, would you put me on loudspeaker? That's the thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, because I could be saying anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if you want to put me on loudspeaker.
Do you know what?
But I'll still answer the phone.
Yeah.
And I will still talk, right? And if I call you, for example, if I call my male friends, and I'm talking and your girl's there, number one, I'm gonna make sure your girlfriend feels comfortable. But You might not want to put me on loudspeaker because I could be saying anything.
Yeah, no. But to be fair, I mean, I'm the type of person that puts everyone on loudspeaker. If you're calling me, no, you're going to be on loudspeaker.
You're on loudspeaker when I'm by myself.
No, with people as well.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if I say anything, I'm embarrassing you.
I'll take it.
What about, what's it called? Female friendships. So... Because obviously female friendships can be quite catty. How do we navigate that? And how do you know your friend's not a hater? How do you pick the right female friend? I think that's a real struggle from when you're in your young 20s as you age. Even, I don't actually feel like female friendships get better. I feel like we work on them a lot more and we are more comfortable as people. And I think that 70-year-olds have the same issues.
Yeah, I don't
think men have the same issues though.
No. I think this is quite a difficult one. And I say it's a difficult one because there is I don't know. I think with female friendships, it can be quite difficult. When you're younger and your priorities in looking for a friend is very different to when you're a lot older. Yeah. And I have had friendships who, when I was a teenager, we were just very much... hi, bye, or I didn't really like that person as much.
Yeah, but you were still friends, isn't
it? Yeah. But then now that I'm older, we have formed a different kind of bond and a different kind of relationship. Some friends just need a bit of time to nurture and mature.
Okay.
And so you get the best out of that friendship with the longevity. Whilst there's some friendships who you probably thought would go a long way and they haven't gone anywhere. Like you're just there thinking... oh, we're going to be friends for life. And then they don't, it doesn't
even last 5 years.
It doesn't even last 4.5. So I think it does kind of differ when it comes to female friendships. What do you think?
I definitely think female friendships differ. But what I've realized as I've kind of gotten older in my friendships is I categorize my friends. I have my really close friends. I'm going to call you. We're going to chat on the phone. Things like that. I have people that you're just fun. You see what I mean? I'm not calling you for nothing serious. We're going out to party.
Yeah.
And that is literally it. Because I don't feel like there's not much value that you add outside of that.
Oof.
That sounds a bit mean, but it's the truth. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, don't be a valueless friend.
Yeah, because if don't get me wrong, you still have your value and it might be different to the value that I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's the value's just different. So you might be fun and I enjoy having fun with you and we can go out together and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a difficult one for female friendships because I am very open in terms of what I expect and what I will not tolerate from my female friendships. And I'm also very much one of those people that if this friendship no longer serves me, I will walk away from this friendship. Because if you can do something that genuinely offends me, or you can do something that will hurt my feelings, for example, and it might be the minorest thing to you, but it's a very big thing to me because I would never do it to you, for example, I'd still walk away from that friendship. And what I've realized is when I walk away from friendships or relationships is I genuinely feel like I've done the best I can. And I apply that situation even to work as well. Yeah. So it's like, if I think I've done the best I can for you, and I also feel like I have no more what ifs. Yeah. Essentially, then it's time to walk away.
100%. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, there was one of my friends, one friend I thought me and her will be friends for a very, very long period of time. She did one thing, I think 2 years. Has it been 2 years now? Maybe a year and a half ago. I've never spoken to her since.
Wow. Finish.
That was it. That friendship is done. And I will never, I personally will never reach out to her till the day that I die.
Hey.
If that makes sense. But if she has something to say to me, I'm more than happy to listen and take that on board. And I'll tell her what she did or what I feel she did. Because she might not even know.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So yeah, that's how I feel with that.
Yeah, I think friendships can be quite a tricky one because, like you say, there are some friendships that you think will stand longevity,
and they don't,
unfortunately, and it can be so disappointing because some friends start to become family,
and friendship breakups are actually worse than relationship breakups sometimes. So hard because I have friends who are literally like family. Yeah,
and
you really do as well. Like my closest friends are family to me, and I know your friendship group, so I know that they're family to you. Yeah, so I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
what it would be like for you.
No, it's crazy because I've had some just amazing friends over the years, and I don't know where I'd be without them. But then there's also friendships that are like that you've. Just ones that have been really disappointed that you just could not see coming. And I was going to ask you, how do you for the people at home, how would you help people kind of identify the snakes in the grass, the friendships that are not really...
Ooh, I like that.
The ones that you need to look out for.
Okay, so one is, if you don't feel like you can talk about your successes to your friends, that person is not your friend.
Ooh, come on.
That's number one. Number two, if you're at your lowest point and you don't feel like you can call that friend to just even talk about it for advice, even just a listening ear, that person is not your, and you know as well deep down that person is not your friend. That's why you didn't call them. I feel like if you're out for, do you know what girls tend to do as well? Another thing is like, let's say you're like, you know when you're younger and you're like meeting a group of guys and you're so excited and the whole like the girl group is like super excited.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, if they like continuously like make small insults or like don't really like celebrate you or anything like that, I think you kind of need to be careful with that a little bit, because I can't even imagine going out with my female, like you can even ask my female friends, I will boost your confidence, like your ego's gonna be real big by the time I'm finished.
That is Jimmy.
Yeah, because we all need it.
Yeah,
we all need it. And if we can't celebrate each other's successes or we can't like bring each other up, sometimes they're going to be bad and I'm going to be pulling you along. Yeah. And I'm going to need that sometimes too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Then you can identify you're not really for me.
No, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? If, for example, let's say, let's say you're hosting or you're doing something and they turn up late, they consistently turn up late to your event, that's also another sign.
See, I mean, all my friends that are watching this are going to be there doing,
When I say turn up late, because, for example, I had a book launch, right? Let's say, I think it might be 2 years. What year are we in? I don't even know what year we're in anymore. But like, and if I message you and I'm like, Nay, I need you to be on time because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do a speech. Like,
I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And if you're now turning up towards the end,
no, that's rude.
do you see what I mean? Or if you're turning up really late to my event, that means you're not supporting me.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing. And that's the thing, it's like I've had, honestly, like the friends that I've had in my circle have been selfless.
I love
that's
that.
Another thing that I think is so important in friendships. A selfless friend, somebody who will drop everything to just be there for you, to like help you in order for you to get to that next level. I've done like so many events in the past, and I've needed people to just be helpers, taking people's names at the doors and doing this, and they'll turn up. They will turn up. They will shout out. They'll be like, "No, we got this. Don't worry.
Simple.
Like, let us know when the next one
you
is.
Go
we'll
do
be
what
there.
you need to do to make sure this event is a success.
I'm telling you,
I'm going to do the activity you assign me to do.
Yeah, I
it's
can't
as simple
thank them
as
enough.
that.
Another one that I was going to drop in there though, as another friendship tool, is what do you think of friends who are like sisters? Like, do you ever class any of your friends as sisters? Like, there's friendships and there's sisters.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm really weird with sisters because I don't have any. And I also feel like female friendships has always been a really touchy subject now. But I do have female friends that are my sisters. And the thing is, the reason why I say they're my sisters is because I know they have my best interest at heart. Now, there are certain things that I am extremely good at, right? And there are certain things I suck. Do you see what I mean? And my friends don't hesitate to check me.
Yeah.
And I feel like for you to be that comfortable with me and for me to be that comfortable with you, we're forming and we have a sisterhood. There's definitely some of my friends that I classify as my sisters.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
What do you think?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I have friends that are like that as well. Leah, who you guys have probably seen on a previous episode.
Motherhood episode, girl.
Our motherhood episode.
Yeah.
That is
Leah
my
got
sister.
so much positive feedback on how real she was as well. And I just loved it. Like when I watched the episode back, I'm just like, shout out Leah. But
yeah,
anyway.
100%. But that's the thing. And I think as well, there's also like an identification in friendships. I mean, I'd like to think I'm somewhat like that as well.
You definitely
But
are.
when you see my friends, you see a piece of me in them.
Of course.
And I feel like someone like Leah, she's just an amazing person, just super inspirational, very calm, very chilled, laid back. And she is somebody I consider my sister. Yeah. That is my sister. And another friend of mine, Michelle, shout out. She's people that see us, they're like two peas in a pod. Like, you know, she's somebody who is just, I can't even put it into words, but she is literally as well just a sister. She has her own relationship with my mum.
I love that.
To the point where my mum will even put her picture up on her DP. Like,
really?
I'm telling you.
I love that.
She's taken over me and my brother. She's now the favourite child. But they have their own individual relationship.
No, that's really good.
But even things like that, like a lot of my friends, like there's so much more to be fair. friends who I see as siblings, like Chris and Prince, who you've met on previous episodes as well. Oh my gosh, they're literally my brothers. Like,
so personable as well, both of
so
them.
personable. Like, us three have been able. We literally in university. This is how crazy it was. We used to all sleep on the same bed, like the three of us. We'll work till late, like maybe till 4 a.m. And then we're just like, oh, we've got lecture in the morning. And we'll all just squeeze up on one bed and sleep.
And that's it, yeah.
And it's not like, oh, do you know what I mean? It's not inappropriate.
Yeah.
It was literally like,
do you know what, actually? One of
brothers and sisters. Yeah. And then them two are kicking me off the bed, pushing me so I roll off on the floor. Like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like, but those kind of friendships are needed. Yeah. And what I also like about those friendships as well, with the guy ones as well, is that you can lean on them when you're going through, for example, if you want to ask about male advice, you know you can go to them. If they want to ask you about female advice, they can come to you. And I just think that's where you need to be at in your friendships. If you don't feel like you can go to your boys about your partner and vice versa, there's something wrong.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's all about being able to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is key. If you can't be like that with your friends.
And as you get older, that need to be vulnerable increases. I feel like when we're younger, we're very much more boxed off, we're a bit more closed. We feel like we could be the world on our shoulders. We don't have as much responsibility. Yeah. As you get older and you have more responsibility and you start to see life, you need to find those friends that you can be vulnerable with.
100%. And we spoke about it on a previous episode, in the motherhood episode, where we were talking about having a village. And having people that you can lean on. Because it is so important. You can't do this by yourself.
No, you can't.
One man is not an island.
No, and life is hard.
Life is hard, girl.
Life is hard. Like, why do you want to suffer by yourself?
Exactly. And the thing is, in life, I feel like there's different people for different things. Like we've kind of touched on earlier in the episode. So you might have friends that you want to travel with, that you go on holiday with. And then you'll have some friends who you just
I'll call you for an investment, though.
You have some friends that you just want to chill with, you know, some friends that are great for dinner, some friends that are good, you know, if you need prayer warriors around you, you know, like when you need a circle to form around you and you're just like, guys, I just need you to pray with me, just hold my hand. So, you know, there's different friends for different reasons, and they serve different purposes in people's lives.
One of my friends always asks me, she always says, so like, I'm one of those people, like I'm pretty much like normally well put together in terms of like strong head. I'm like, I'm fine. She doesn't ask me that. She actually individually asks me, how are you feeling, Jimmy? Ooh. Do you see what I mean? Because it's not like, how are you? If you ask me how I am, I'm going to be like, I'm fine, right? How are you feeling about this situation? How are you feeling mentally? Those are the kind of questions that I know when I'm like, you actually care about me.
And just to piggyback off that, guys, you know I like a little piggyback.
She loves it.
But even times where your friends don't even need to ask questions, they could just see it.
Yes.
When they can,
and you should be like that with your partner. Like, I will see your face. I'm like, all right, tell me. Let me have it.
Let me hear it. Or even just, I just know not to bother him today.
Simple.
I just know.
I'm going to bother you though. But
okay. But ultimately, your friends should be able to, your close ones especially, should be able to just look at you and just know. Or even just the way you're acting. Maybe if I call one of my friends, I could just see that she's just been like snappy. I just know, okay, she's having one of those days.
She had a bad day today.
She had a bad day today. And then usually if you're a very good friend of them, you just know how to pick them up. You know what things will make them happy. Yeah. What things will maybe turn their mood from an upset mood to a happy mood.
I'm just going to come to us with wine.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Jimmy will just bond over wine. So, as you can see. So.
Yeah. We're just going to turn up with wine. We're going to get some suya.
We're going to get some suya.
Yeah. We got,
Listen, if you know anything about me and Jimmy, just bring us a bottle of red.
Yes.
And suya.
And we'll be enjoying.
We'll be fine.
And we'll be happy.
In fact, today was a good day.
Yes.
So, yeah.
How do you feel about being friends with your partner's friends?
Ooh. I don't like it.
Ooh.
Not too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the kind of like, you know, I want us to be able to be cool. And, you know, I want to be able to say, hey, and I know who you are, I know your name.
Yeah.
But that's your friend.
Yeah.
And that's your safe space.
Yeah.
I don't need to delve too much.
Okay.
But having said that,
I was about to say, okay,
I want you to be close with my people. Which is a really
and that's
weird
why
tip.
I was going to ask you, because I know that you always say that you want your partner to be close with your friends. And I know a lot of women that say, I need my partner to be close with my friends. But I don't think it always works the same vice versa. And I talk to my partner's friends.
Yeah.
We're cool, in fact. Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're cool. Like, genuinely, we will actually be having our own conversations on Insta, WhatsApp. But at the end of the day, like, you're still his boys.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? You're still his boys. Me and you were very, very cool. And I want you to like me and I want to like you because essentially you're going to be in my life for a long period of time. Do you know what I mean?
have to be able to bond. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And for example, let's say like we go to a family party, you know, and you're busy at the family party. Am I supposed to be following you around?
Just following like a goat.
Do you know what I mean? I need to have someone to kind of talk to, gist with. You need to be able to leave me alone in that room, in that environment. And I want to be able to do the same with you.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate that? Because I do feel like there is a interesting view on being friends with your partner's friends, and a lot of women will be like, "No, why do you need to be friends?"
No, I get that. The thing is, I think being cordial is definitely like at least
it's the bare minimum
that needs to be there.
Bare minimum.
But at the same time, I feel like for me, it's got to be organic. Firstly,
yes.
If it's not organic, I'm not going to force it.
Yeah, no,
100%. I'm not going to force it.
There's no point.
But at the same time, I think, especially with my partner's friends, his friends are quite like, they're just very chilled. Just very chilled and very, you know, relaxed people. Yeah. So I'm not going to be forcing them, hi, Naomi, like, and doing all of this because it's like, no. But I feel like I also just like him to have his own space.
Yeah.
I find it quite interesting that I'd like him to kind of come into my friendship circle and be quite in there.
I think that's because at the same time, so like your friendship circle is like a group. Do you know what I mean? There's men and there's women, and you guys have been friends for such a long time. Like you said, you bonded that from uni, and I think with you because you're gonna do that for life. I see.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's probably they're not going nowhere.
I've tried kicking them away; they're not going anywhere.
So I feel like for you, it's important that your partner kind of fits into that and enjoys that same company. Whereas your partner as well, he's more chill, he's more relaxed, and we're kind of of similar personality. So I kind of get that. Whereas. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I can see why your view of being friends with them and him being friends with your like friends is slightly different.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You figured it out. Yeah, you get it. You get it. You see.
How does he feel about that?
I think he's fine with it for the most part.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he's a bit like, okay, you and your people, you do too much.
Yeah.
But that's also because I've got a load of cousins. So it's like, if it's not my friends that are doing something, it's my cousins that are doing something.
And I'm also at those events too.
Exactly. So it's just like, it's how many people can you add in, like, you know, how many events can you go to with one partner? But yeah, I think he's okay to it. I think he likes, at the end of the day, I think for him, he likes to see that I'm a family person and that I have friends.
Yeah, I feel like most men care about things like that.
Yeah, because it definitely highlights feminine energy.
Yeah. Because it highlights nurturing energy, it highlights the whole, all of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think for the most part, he doesn't see it as a bad thing. I think he likes it. And my friends, I mean, you've met a lot of them now and they're very welcoming people. They're just really nice and very easy, sociable people to get along with.
I agree. I mean, it's so funny because I feel like I've met your friends over a period of years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's been so many years. And I feel like there's not one of them that
you're not. I'm telling you, even if we strip it all the way back to back in the day, like Jimmy has always gotten on with my friends to the point where she's had their own relationships with them.
Yeah.
So
and I'm not. Like, I want to say that I'm really personable, but I'm also very private.
Yeah.
And I'm also I'm very to myself.
Yeah.
But either which way, I would still make effort. But they've always made me feel welcome.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, they've always made me feel welcome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm good with that.
That's good. Yeah. Well done, friends. Well done.
Well done, friends.
No.
Is there anything else we kind of want to talk about with friendships? I also think, right, if your parents, whatever your mum tells you about your friend, it's probably true. Just saying.
Ooh, speak on it.
Yeah. If your mum tells you that your friend is a cow, she probably is a cow. Just saying. Because they notice things that we can't see. They have years of experience on it. And then a lot of the time when they tell you about something, you're like, no, this person... Like, I remember my mum and dad told me about one of my friends when I was, like, younger. And I was like, no way.
No, but do you know
Just
what?
look at the eyes. I don't need to even comment on it.
But I think it also depends on your relationship with your parents. Because some people don't have the best relationships with their parents. And just to add one more layer, some people's parents... God forgive me.
God forgive you. I'm already praying. What are you going to say?
Some people's parents, I don't feel always have the best intention.
That is very true.
Kids.
Yes. And I completely agree.
And so sometimes they can say things and they sabotage their child.
Yeah, I think when I speak on parents, because I think we spoke about this before, I speak on my own parents.
Yeah.
And I have a very good relationship with my parents.
Yeah,
so
same.
that's a good point. But when my parents tell me about somebody,
you listen.
I listen. Because most of the time, sometimes you just look to the side, but you can't quite see because this
is in your way. Yeah.
But that's a really good point, though, because sometimes your parents don't have the best intention, and sometimes they're trying to live through you. And
that whole living vicariously through their kids is a big thing.
It's a very big thing.
Yeah. So they'll be like, oh, that friend is just jealous of you. And then you might be like, oh, really? You think so? And then meanwhile, the friend is not jealous of you. They don't want your life. They don't want what you got. They don't want a baby daddy that's moving mad. But you'll be there listening to your parents thinking that, and rightfully so, you would think your parents have your best interest at heart.
You would. Some people know that their parents don't have the best interest at heart, though, I've met a few people like that.
Yeah, you have to really open your eyes and understand which ones are, like, which friends are not good friends and which ones are. Like, make your own decision.
Yeah. So, guys, is there anything that you feel like we've missed? Are there any friendship points are there any points that we've missed about friendship? What kind of characteristics do you look for in your friends? What don't you ignore? What don't you ignore about your friends? So if you see something, you're like, nope, I'm out. Let us know. Comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. If there's anything that we've said that you really like, please also comment and let us know. But that's it from us on friendships.
That is.
See you on the next episode, guys.
See you later.